Okay, now that we've created the the three new CSs plus the original XY plane for machining of this block, we're going to machine the slot on the right face and the left face, and also do that engraving or that logo on the front face. We can see by looking at the front face, and if I select that face right there, I've still got the face selection tool on. You see that the Gibbs logo appears unselected. At, I believe it's a quarter of an inch deep. We'll find out here in a minute. But when you're doing work on a part that has multiple CSs, it's a good idea to keep the CS palette up so you can see what CS is active, and if you're easy to negotiate that. You can make that little window as small or as big as you'd like with the little right click on, or the click on the right hand corner. You can make it as big or as small as you'd like. You can also do the same thing by clicking and holding down the button, menu button, and you can navigate that way as well. So let's go make ourselves. I'm going to just make let's just go with a 1/4 inch finish mill here. I'm going to call it a finisher carbide. Just 1 3/4 out of the that's a little bit big for that size tool. Let's make it 1 1/4 overall length, and about a 3/4 inch of flute length for a 1/4 inch ball mill, or a carbide mill. Sounds a little more realistic. Okay, let me do a unzoom here. See what we're working on. I'm going to make a pocketing operation using the 2D pocket rough command here, same as we've done before. The most important thing to remember when you're working on a part that has multiple CSs, you need to have the MDD set so that it's at least a 4-axis vertical or 4-axis horizontal. Otherwise the rotate tab won't come up. The rotate tab appears here at the very end of the tabs that come up in the process window. Make sure that the rotate tab is active, and then rotate the part into that plane. So we're going to, where it says machine CS, point to right. That's the machining, or CS. We're going to do the machining on the right CS. That's the reason why when we built these CSs initially, earlier, we went to the trouble of naming them where they really are, or what they, what sort of processes are involved with that. In this case, right and left made more sense than anything else, and also front. If you don't name these things, they just say CS2, CS3, CS4, you won't know what they are. So be descriptive in the names of these things. It's important for that. You can always double check and make sure. I'm going to put a number here, say 5, for the Z height, starting height of this face. You can always be sure that you're in the correct plane. Let me get rid of this palette here for just a second. Drag it down the bottom of the screen and pull the part over a little bit so I can click on that face. Make that window, that dialog active, where that's the starting Z depth of this CS. You can always make sure you're in the right plane if you hold down the Alt key. Remember earlier we talked about the Alt key being a square at the end of where your cursor is. That's the retrieved data. So if I click on that face right there, it takes that 5 down to 0. So we know that's the correct machining CS. Further, what depth is that pocket? I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. How deep is that pocket feature right there? Make sure that the depth dialog box is active where my blue cursor is. Hold down the Alt key again and click on that face, and that's 3/4 of an inch deep. So let's divide that by 3. So we're going to take it all in 3 shots, let's say. I'm not going to leave any stock on. Just going to put a 50 thousandths line on it so we can turn our cutter comp value on. What this is going to do is going to take three cuts at a 1/4 inch deep per pass. Cut width is going to default to half the cutter size of the radius of the cutter. In this case, 1/8 of an inch. Speeds and feeds are, up to you. We're going to use the offset contour, the offset pocket thing here, and all you really need to do is click the face of that part. Do an unzoom here so you can see what we're doing. All I did was select the bottom of that part there. The do it button turns black, and we've machined that pocket. Now while that pocket is active, or that process is active, select somewhere between the operation we just now created, double click on the process, go to the rotate tab, and let's divert it over to left. Machine CS now should say number 3 left. Let's go back to the pocketing thing again, and let's look at the, we zoom in here again here, double click and make sure that this is 0, and the depth is going to be 3/4. Should be the same feature on both sides. We're going to use again a 50 thousandths entry line. Make sure the cutter comp CRC is on. We're going to take 0.25 per pass, 3 passes for 3/4 depth total. All I need to do is close the window, select any piece at the bottom of that solid model. We're going to do it, and there's our 3 passes. In the same way, now we can go to the front. Double click on the process, rotate it into the front. I'm not sure what the depth is here, so let's double check this. Let's go to the home view. Make sure that the CS is looking for front here. Let's look at the home view of that. And again, if I turn my face on, I can see what the depths are. Hold down the Alt key and click on that bottom right there. I was wrong. It's 450 thousandths deep, and the face of the part down here is 0, because that's the face we aligned the CS to. So we're going to take that. Well, let's take that in 2 shots. So I just divide the 0.45. I'm sorry, 0.45. Divide that by 2. It gives us 225 thousandths per pass. Again, a 50 thousandths entry line. That may be a little bit too much here. Let's go maybe 15 or 10 thousandths for the entry line. Everything else is going to be the same here. So it's 225 per pass. We want to have cutter radius comp turned on. And what I want to do now, let me zoom in here a little bit, is select each individual face. Probably be easier if I went to the isometric view here. There we go. Select those bottoms. What? Okay. And all 4 of those are selected. Click on the Do It button. There's our machining of the Gibbs logo. And I created a solid model here. It includes this block without the slots or the logo machined into it. So when I do the rendering here, do the unzoom here, it starts off with that parent model. And let me go ahead and just play that. Notice I've got a clearance problem there where it's coming from tool change. I just need to give a little more Z height each of my clearance values, and the problem should go away. But the logos being correctly machined as well with that 1/4" end mill. So this is the conclusion of the little exercise of building CSs and machining. How do you correctly orient a CS and then do the alignment of the CS and do the machining of the CS? Hopefully it'll be of help for you, and there will be more videos to follow.